keep waiting for Skyrim to show up in another video game as a playable video game.
Well, that was one of the memes I saw online a little while ago. Was like, you boot up the new Skyrim game. There's
Elder Scrolls 6, got it. Elder Scrolls 6.
You boot up the new Elder Scrolls 6 in the character creation. You go, the main character talks about a memory you had a long time ago, and then it flashbacks to the carriage scene in the very beginning of Skyrim. And it's like, Todd Howard, you've done it again.
See, I'd be okay with that. What I want is like the Yakuza-style one, where it's like an arcade cabinet. I want you to walk into a space and be like, yo, you can play off Skyrim here. Why? I don't know. Fuck it. Immersion.
Just because you can.
Yeah. Like Fallout 5, if you can't play Skyrim on a computer in Fallout 5, and I mean all of Skyrim, an opportunity has been missed. I also then want to see the nightmare world of people putting mods into a game to put mods into Skyrim in the game.
Oh, and with those mods, there'd be some crazy shit.
Yeah!
For that game.
That's the only mod for Skyrim I find entertaining. The idea that you have to mod a game inside a game.
That'd be some next level meta shit right there. I can appreciate that.
That's some exhibit level shit.
He would be so fucking proud of that.
Have you seen the people that tweeted something on fucking Twitter? Like asking them to pimp their ride, still the responses they get?
No, is he still responding to that?
It's pretty okay. Like, obviously the show is long over, but it's him being like, shut the fuck up, the show's been off the air for 10 years. Pimp your own ass ride, I got bills to pay.
Right. I think the studio still exists, too.
Yeah, it's like in Burbank.
Yeah. I think they still do.
It's by the mall in Burbank. Like the West Coast Customs is a very real place.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just think they do like other custom stuff. They don't have a show anymore.
Oh yeah, no. The show was never the main source of income for that place.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, like you can take tours of West Coast Customs. Yeah, it's like by a shitty mall in Burbank. Like it's by the Empire Center, I think.
Oh.
Or it's a different custom car mod shop there. But yeah, like that's a very real place you can go to and be like, yo, you guys were big in the 90s.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Good time.
Just yell the word chrome at them. Hello and welcome to the Wicked Awesome Cast, episode 121. Completely arbitrary number in the grand spectrum of things, but 120 episodes more than we ever thought was going to happen. So yeah, welcome. It's going to be a good podcast, I promise.
Yes, it is.
Maybe it won't be.
And if not, your money back.
Please don't contact us for money back. Because time is money, and we're very good at wasting time. I can't afford to give people back all that time. I'll be dead. Just suck the time right out of me. Just be like that thing from fucking Noah's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Just
yeah. No, we're not giving you actual money or time. Nothing. We promise you nothing. So
nothing promised. Yes, welcome to the podcast. I'm Charlie, aka Mordak, and as always joined by Alex, aka Mave Online.
Yeah.
We have Twitter handles we probably should mention every once in a while, but in keeping with tradition, we won't mention that here either.
No, we won't mention that my Twitter name is
Nope.
Mave
Stop
Online.
ruining the jokes. Stop it.
No, we won't do that.
After 100 somewhat episodes, we should have a formula down by now. We're sticking to that formula.
Come on, man. Let's change the formula up, bro. Come on. Just a little. Just see if you like it. Come on. Fine.
I'm going to stifle the shit out of that creativity of yours.
How dare you think outside the box? Get out of here. But yes, 121. We've been doing good, man. They haven't kicked down our door. Things are going well.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, well.
You live in Portland where finding yourself is okay. I live in LA where it's like, yo, you make a podcast in there? Yeah, we're listening to their podcast, motherfucker. Shut it down. What makes you think you have the right to put up free episodes? Actually, they cost me money. Shut the fuck up.
Is that what happens when you try to record the podcast there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't have that kind of issue. But then again, I hide my home when I do this.
There's a great comedy skit out there called, like, You and Your Friends Shouldn't Start a Podcast, where it's like, yeah, do you think you and your friends are really funny? Yeah, you shouldn't start a podcast. But we're so funny. No, you're not. Everyone thinks that about their friends.
Right. Like,
what's it gonna be about? Oh, just be us hanging out, talking about food. Oh, like every fucking podcast is? Like every motherfucking podcast is? There are occasionally times when we have our podcast where I'm like, does the world need our gaming podcast? No, it doesn't. Are we gonna shove it down the world's throat? Fucking yeah, we are. That's how we're different. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a weird week.
It is a weird week. It's kind of a weird spattering of just like news bits here and there.
It's a ton of small news, yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of little stuff. Like, it's kind of nice. It's not anything super big.
Yeah, like I spent an hour today scraping the barrel for more stuff, where I'm like, come on, we have to have more stuff to put in.
Yeah, it's like, anything? This will work. Is it video game related? Yep. Slap it on the dock.
That's kind of what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah. So, but somehow, well, don't worry, everyone.
Yeah.
Our awesome and funny personalities that we think are funny will carry us this week.
Hopefully.
But yeah, so I think in our formula this week we talk about, or this part we talk about ourselves.
Yeah.
The
right. Ego train rides again.
Yes, all aboard the ego train, boys. Let's do this. I believe you're first, though.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I've been playing Destiny 2 and Spider-Man still.
How's Spider-Man? Like, I've
still
seen
really
all the good reviews.
It's really good. It is the best teen-rated game I've played in a long-ass time. Like, it is, as I said when I talked about this 2 weeks ago, like, it's a really good game to be Spider-Man in. I still think the combat in that game could be better or tighter or something that would result in me enjoying it more, but, zipping around that city on a web-swinging style is pretty cool. The writing for that game is surprisingly good. Like, the collectible stuff that plagues all open-world games doesn't bug me that much. It's like the backpacks, the egregious, go collect 52 of these fucking things, I actually like doing, because inside of each one's a little kind of, like, thing that prompts a throwaway piece of dialogue, and some of the dialogue's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, I still dig it. I'm still mad the game spent its first chapter being like, yo, this guy's totally not a villain. I'm like, yes, he is. He's obviously a bad guy. When it's well written, I enjoy the stories of, like, when you, the player, know someone's a bad guy, but the characters don't. Like, this is more like, is Peter Parker just a fucking idiot? This guy's obviously a bad guy.
Well, yeah. But you gotta be quirky somehow.
I guess. Yeah, I'm still digging Spider-Man. I'm gonna finish it eventually. I think I've switched over from, hey, let's actually, like, do all the stuff in this game, to, what if we just mainline the story at this point so we can say we beat the game, because I will eventually stop playing this game like I do all open-world games.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I dig it. I dig the most that none of the side stuff takes that long to do. Like, there's an instantaneous, like, all of the side activities take, like, 5 minutes tops, and if they take that long, they kind of involve the movement system, and the movement system is great. Like, you could have put this game out for, like, $20 and just had the web slinging and just whipping around the city. Like, that would have been enough of a game for people to be like, yeah, this is okay. This is fine. I'll pay $20.
That does say a lot about just that game in general, though.
That part's real good.
Nice.
Yeah. That's getting from point A to point B is my favorite part of that game. And, like, there's no bad part in that game for me. I just don't like the combat, and the combat's fine. It's whatever. But I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 as well. Mostly Destiny 2. I take Spider-Man breaks.
Between Destiny 2, you do a little bit of Spider-Man breaks?
I really like Destiny 2, it turns out, these days. Like, that Forsaken expansion it's pretty good still. I'm still digging it, even though, the player base is a bunch of whiny-ass bitches that need to shut the fuck up.
You sound a little upset. What's going on in the Destiny world, sir?
So there is a gun in the game called the Ace of Spades. Those familiar with its lore know that Cade 6, our dearly departed Hunter Vanguard leader, that's his gun. It was in... I think it was just a legendary in Destiny 1, actually. You got it from the gunsmith, but in Destiny 2, it's a really fucking good hand cannon. It's powerful, and it had a pretty bullshit quest line to go around it that had a really fucking hard first step. That a bunch of people on Reddit and other places were like, yo, I'm just never getting this gun because this is hard, and I'm bad at PvP. Mm-hmm. I'm okay at PvP, but like... so in Gambit mode, that you get invaded, and when you invade someone, you get an overshield. Like, I think you wind up like 3x the health you're normally supposed to have, and if you're good at PvP, that makes you a fucking wrecking ball. Like, you can easily solo 4 people, especially if you're smart about it, and like, you had to get 5 kills against this overpowered enemy. I got to 4 kills before they fucking nerfed the quest down to, yeah, just kill a bunch of shit with a hand cannon. And I'm a little pissed off about that. Because I kind of dug the fact that quest was a little bit hard, and you actually had to put time into doing it, and like it wasn't something you could just grind out. It was like, nah, you have to, you gotta dig deep and actually do this shit. Like, the fun of it for me was I was doing that at the same time. I have the Chaperone now. I have one of my 2 favorite shotguns in the game. The Chaperone is still ludicrously good. It's very rare in the game. Like, and it's weird because they fucked up the Ace of Spades questline, but as far as I know, they have not touched the Chaperone questline at all, and they need to keep it that way because the Chaperone questline is for those that deserve it. You're not worthy if you can't do that questline. Fucking, I did that questline. Anyone can do that questline. But I digress. So I had like 4 Gambit things going on at once, so I was playing a shit ton of Gambit, and I managed to kind of burn through all of that. I liked the fact that there was a gun in the game that people thought was too hard to get for the majority of people, and I thought that was good. And
You've always been
about
that.
Like, Ace of Spades is really good, and I can see the argument of, like, oh, one of the best hand cans in the game shouldn't be locked behind a quest, but at the same time, like, beat the campaign and everyone fucking gets this quest. Oh, I can't get it because it's too hard. Get good.
That's not anything, like, new, though. Like, even in Destiny 2, the beginning, they had one of the really good guns through a quest line.
Yeah.
Like, was it the Rat King?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rat King was a pretty solid hand
The difference being the Rat King one was one you could kind of grind out's maybe the wrong word, but, like, with enough time and effort, you could get it done. I would say that's the same for this one, but, like, this one requires a certain level of skill, like, and this is where I get really pissed off. So, this podcast goes up the day after, or maybe not the day, maybe it's still going on when this goes up, but, like, so, Destiny just had a play Gambit for fucking free weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who's really bad at invading and Gambit?
Everyone?
People that have never played Gambit before. I went from having, like, so, they changed the quest up, whatever. I got all 5 kills I needed in one Gambit match the other night, where I'm just like, son of a fucking bitch. Like, if you're gonna do this, don't change the Gambit quest. Like, it's the, okay, wait for the fucking free Gambit weekends. Because I think the free, like, Gambit weekends are great. They're fun. They bring new people in and stuff. But, like, people that don't play a lot of Gambit are fucking garbage at Gambit, and that's who you go after.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fucking easy to do that quest when you're going after people that have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is a thing that people have done for a long-ass time. Like, in Destiny 1, I think it was I don't think it was Thorn, but there was a quest that, like, it was the Oath Iron Banner. If you're trying to do Crucible quests, go into PvP right now. Why? Because all the good people are doing Iron Banner. All the garbage people are doing normal PvP right now. The playing field is level. And then at the same time, like, there's a gun called Sleeper Stimulant. Sleeper Stimulant is crazy easy to get in the game. It's called Beat Warmind and then do the quest. It's a long-ass quest, but there is no excuse except for not putting in the time to get that gun, for not having that gun. And it's a really fucking good gun. and they're gonna nerf it now because it's too good a gun. And I'm kind of like, anyone can get this shit. Like, it's not RNG. It's not behind some like skill wall. It's literally just do these very long, time-consuming things, and you get a super weapon. That's fine in my book. I like how powerful it is. Please don't change it too much. I don't even have it, and I'm fine with it. I get killed that shit all the time. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's the I could have that gun. I just have to put the time in to get that gun. Yeah, I'm still loving Destiny 2 Forsaken. Like, Iron Banner was this week. I played a bunch of Iron Banner. Like, it's fun to care about that game again. I have a rocket launcher that is dumb. It has maxed out blast rate. It's called like Call of the Bear or something. That thing is beautiful. You shoot something with it, and its like entire family dies. Because the blast radius is stupid. And I've got homing, so it's even better. But
well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Nah, it's like all of this has also been on top of the fact that my air conditioning still isn't fixed.
I didn't know about your air conditioning.
Did I not mention my air conditioning got busted? I
don't think you did.
Oh, so my air conditioning broke about a little over a week ago now. Yeah, it would have been... Last podcast was the first weekend the AC was broke. This is the second weekend the AC is broke. And yeah, so it's not totally clear what happened, but it got jammed and the thing iced itself over, and I have been without AC for over a week now in Los Angeles, and getting that dealt with has been a pain in the ass, because when I bought my house, I bought buyer's insurance, which covers shit like this. But you have to go through preferred vendors of the insurance, and at least one of the preferred vendors we went through kind of fucking ghosted us, and was impossible to get on a phone.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's been a time.
Fucking sucks.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That fucking sucks. I know, like, not having that AC just fucking...
It's hot here. It's... Like, I gave you a lot of shit for being like, oh, there's no AC in Portland. We've had, like, several 100-degree days in a row here, I think, and it's been not great.
Yeah.
It's been hot.
No. At least it's not... Is it humid at where you're at?
No,
it's
like, I live... Okay. It's not anywhere in LA.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine in that sense. When you told me about the humid air, I like, okay. And then I experienced it. I cried inside. So.
Yeah. No, that's me at this point. Like I think I'm actively waiting some new games to come out. Like I finally pre-ordered Red Dead Redemption. I just pre-ordered Super Smash Bros. Because I make good life choices.
I actually need to pre-order Red Dead. Just get that because Manny fucking loves Red Dead. So
we're gonna talk about Red Dead some more later on the podcast because there was a press event we obviously were not invited to because we are who we are. But yeah, so some stuff came out of that event that sound promising.
There are a few things that were...
They fucking BioWared that game in a kind of cool way. Yeah. Yeah. So what have you been up to, man?
I actually have been kind of theory crafting and
how's
working
the
on some
battle
new stuff.
for Azeroth?
It's all right. We're Guild's working on pushing that mythic progression right now. And I'm very familiar with the front door of the raid because that's where all enhancement shamans sit.
Okay.
Because we don't see any raid action, so I'm a little sad. I haven't really had a chance to see too much raid action. But
tell me about the front door of the raid.
The portal looks very nice. It looks like developers really put their time into it so that shamans could spend some good time outside and admire the artwork. Shout outs to the art team there at WoW. They did a really good job designing the entrance for that raid. I can't say the same for the class balance team when it comes to shamans, but I can say I really appreciate the art team right now. They've done good work. And it's really, really nice. Very, very welcoming, unless you're a shaman. But, sorry. I tried to say something nice about it, but I couldn't get through it.
Cost you to lock up some.
Yeah, it caused me to hurt inside. But yeah. Overall, I mean, I've been watching some streams, raids, and all that stuff. So the raid itself looks really nice. It looks like a lot of fun. Like alas, I'm not seeing any of that action, so I'm a little sad. But I get it. You got to bring in the classes and the people that are ensure the highest amount of success based off of, when you're working on progression, that's just the way it is. So
keep telling yourself that.
Yeah, it's a good way to go about it. So.
Sure.
It does make me sad though. Although I did discover some really cool stuff about enhancement shamans. It turns out when you've leveled an enhancement shaman, it just makes you realize how much other classes are easier when you're re-rolling and leveling up another class. So,
yes, that buff you get of everything's easier by comparison.
Yep. So I'm leveling up a hunter, and it's fucking stupid easy to play a hunter.
How far back do you start when you level up a hunter?
Well, I have a hunter that I had leveled up to 100 before, so it's
sure.
at like 112 right now. So.
Okay, so you're not starting from scratch.
No, I started with 100, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's been gnarly trying to do that otherwise, but I'm like, God, how is it that this class does so much fucking easier and still puts out decent fucking damage? It's ridiculous. So, been a little sad at that, but I'm like, well, if it's going to help me see a raid, I'll get another class leveled up right now. So,
chasing that raid.
Exactly. But yeah, other than that, I mean, just been busy with stuff here at home. We've got family visiting soon from my girlfriend's side. She's got somebody visiting for her birthday because her birthday's next month. So we're trying to get stuff going. We went IKEA shopping. That was fun.
Did your relationship survive?
Yes, it did, actually. We got in and out there relatively quick. It was just super crowded. And, like, I think being up here, we've realized how spoiled we are when we say things like it's super crowded, because it was relatively crowded, but it was still...
Not LA crowded?
Not LA crowded.
You didn't watch a man beat another man to death over a chair?
No, luckily not. But other than that, everything else is, it's been pretty nice. The weather's starting to cool off really nice out here, so... We do have a day coming up soon where our high is going to be like 80 degrees. And I'm like, 80 degrees is the worst. But...
Oh, God!
But yeah, everything else is like... It's nice. Dogs are having fun going out. We took us some really cool little spot. I forgot where it was, but there's a park here that has an off-leash, like, water thing near the lake. So having the dogs run around and do that has been kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, other than that, things are going really swell. Not a lot other on the gaming front, other than, like I said, just mainly playing WoW. A little bit of Overwatch. Actually, this is one of the first times I actually haven't started doing a season of competitive on Overwatch, just because I'm like, meh.
I got other shit to do.
Yeah. As much as I shit on it and hate Battle for Azeroth, I am still playing it. And it's mainly because I'm working with other classes right now.
Oh, yeah, no, this is that is the lifestyle of playing a lifestyle game.
Yep. So... Other than that, yeah, life is swell. But yeah, that's it for me this week.
Are you guys far enough north the trees change color for fall?
Yes, they absolutely do. It's not...
Have they begun doing that yet?
Not yet.
Do you know what an apple cider donut is?
I believe it's a donut made with apple cider.
Okay, so my pro tip for as someone who grew up in New England and you kind of live in, I'm going to say the West Coast version of New England to a certain extent now, is you need to find an orchard that does like some bullshit activity like apple picking or something.
Oh, Mandy's already.
It also does apple cider.
Mandy's been.
You need to find, but so for you need to find one that makes apple cider, specifically apple cider donuts and hot apple cider, and you need to go to that shit.
Huh.
As someone who's never, as I suspect someone's never been to that because you're from LA, it will change you. The apple picking is whatever, and the farms or whatever, but the apple cider donut. That may be one of the best donuts of all time.
Huh. Well, I will have to try that then. This sounds intriguing.
But it's gotta be fresh. Like, I think we talked about this way the fuck back when, but when I was in New York, like, there was one day I spent, like, a day just whipping around upstate. And I went to, like, 30 farms that all did the apple cider donut and hot apple cider thing, and also, in that case, hard apple cider. So I got a good day drunk going on.
Oh, nice.
It was a time. Yeah.
Nice.
Party like it's the middle of fucking nowhere. Yeah, you make sure you do that. That's something you should definitely do because you live in a more northern part of the country now.
Yeah, no, Mandy's been scoping that out for a while now, so we're definitely gonna do some apple picking and all that stuff.
Bro, you gotta go apple picking. It's legit.
Yeah, no, like legit. She's fucking stoked. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Channeling all her basic white girl instinct.
Yeah, it's any minute now. Pumpkin spice is just gonna explode out of the walls.
One of my coworkers made a spice must flow. I had like a shirt that said like the spice must flow, and had the dude from Dune on it, and I'm like, yeah, it is almost that season, isn't it?
Yep. Oh, it's already that season. It's happening. It's in.
Variety of jokes been made about that at work. Yeah. Anyways, news?
Yeah, let's jump into some news.
Do your thing.
Oh, you actually want me to do it? Yeah!
No, I don't, but I don't want to start and you interrupt me do it while doing it. Alright, stop! Cut! Stop. Right off the bat, we got some mini console news for you. So Sony's making an $100 PlayStation Classic. It's out December 3rd, and the Sega Mega Drive Mini has been delayed to 2019. Yeah.
Yep.
The PlayStation 1 comes with such games as Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, Tekken 3, Wild Arms, and Final Fantasy, I think that's 7. So, yeah. For $100, it comes with 2 controllers, a tiny, adorable PS1, sorry, not PS4. Why do I keep saying that? Some cables, and you get to feel nostalgic about shit. Full game list has not been announced just yet, but I don't know.
Although I will say this is interesting here, because I don't know if you saw this, but it says that it won't come with a power adapter. Instead, you just get a USB cable to power your machine.
Sure.
You gotta get your own
Why
fucking
not?
power. What the fuck, Sony? Give me a goddamn power adapter. This is fucking stupid.
I don't agree with you on this one. At the same time, like, part of me genuinely wonders at this point how many of these consoles actually see usage and not just have a tiny little cute console I put on my shelf, because that's what I would buy one of these for.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see if they're going to put in Symphony of the Night, because I'd be down to try out Symphony of the Night again.
That's not PS1.
Symphony of the Night is PS1.
You sure?
Positive it's PlayStation 1. Because it's the black discs. Black discs were PS1.
No, those were PS2.
No. I'm pretty sure it was PS1.
We have a way of checking this. Okay, you're right. It came out on PlayStation Portable. Yeah, no, you were right.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see anything pointing to them having Symphony of the Night, though, and that's a good fucking game.
Yeah, but there's also like a billion ways to play that game at this point in time.
Oh, I know. I'm not going to get the fucking PlayStation Classic, but it's just nice to know that it's an option.
Yeah, I think it's cute for $100. Like, we're finally at the point I wanted to these classic consoles to reach, which is like the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo have like a retro style that ages well graphic wise. These are shitty 3D graphics now.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
And I'm like super psyched about that.
That is kind of funny though. That is just
I've wanted this point for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into that, go ahead, get yourself a PS4 or PS1. Good for you, but I'm like, meh.
Yeah. I'm not running out to buy one, but it is cute looking, I guess. We got some fighting game character release or announcements, I guess. Raphael, surprise, surprise, is coming to Soul Calibur 6. He still looks like a fencing douchebag. So, they did a good job. They've captured his likeness.
Yeah, apparently I was watching some stuff they were talking about, oh, he doesn't look like a weird vampire this time. So that's kind of cool, I guess.
That only happened towards the later games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, who knows? Who cares? Like, it's that's a no-brainer. Obviously, he's gonna be in the game.
Yeah. But
it's nice to have him confirmed. Android 17 confirmed is coming to DBZ Fighters. Not classic Android 17 though, Super Android 17. So, how many fucking characters does that game have at this point?
It's got a decent roster, actually.
Like all the characters?
It does have a decent roster. So,
yeah,
it's respectable. But here's the thing: they have so many characters to choose. Like that lore is just huge. So
yeah. And we're going to keep announcing these until I get sick of announcing them, because I find it fun to be like, yo, DBZ news.
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, 17 just got announced. Cooler is pending right now.
Allegedly, these two will launch at the same time. That's the impression I got.
Yeah, and I think there's one more. Because I think they usually like to do it in threes. Could be wrong, though.
No, it's been batches of 2.
Has it? Okay.
Yeah. It's been pairs.
Well, they'll be out soon, then.
Yeah, because like the joke was the Broly and Bardock one was the non-canon duo. And then you had classic Vegeta and classic Goku as a duo.
That's right, yeah.
So and this is Cooler and what's his name? Android 17, where it's like, yeah, fan favorite characters, I guess. Like I never knew Android 17 was such a favorite character till like I saw the reaction to this. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, he had an interesting kind of twist of his character in Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah, he's wearing that Ranger outfit in the trailer, so yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely the one from Super, so.
Yeah. Moving on from that, the goal was initially to cover TGS this week, but as TGS is always kind of weird to cover, it's hard to tell what came from TGS versus just kind of off the peripheral of it. There was a new Death Stranding trailer at TGS. It is weird as shit. It has Troy Baker doing the voice of someone, that dude in the golden mask, and he throws that golden mask and summons a giant sludge dog thing, and that game looks real cool and real weird.
Well, that's Hideo Kojima doing Hideo Kojima things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just convinced every single trailer between now and then is just going to be a bunch of weird, dumb shit. Like,
yep.
Like, he's probably like, well, how can I really fuck with people this time around?
Yep. He's actually making a dating simulator.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hilarious, I suppose, we have a little Destiny 2 news. There was an item in the game called Edge Transit. Those of you who are playing Destiny 2 should be very familiar with that gun. It is indeed bugged. That's why it was dropping so fucking often.
Oh.
Bungie's gone out there and confirmed it was bugged, hence why it was dropping. Like, the meta right now is that your character's wearing nothing but Edge Transits, because that's how often that thing was dropping.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny, though, that it drops so often.
And the sad thing is, the gun's not bad as long as you get a good roll. Like, I had a decent one for a while, but yeah, like, I went from never having seen an Edge Transit to hearing the joke about Edge Transit to having, like, yeah, this is dropping way too frequently.
Mm-hmm.
They're not kidding.
Wonder how that happens, where it's just that particular one drops way too often.
Loot table things, I assume. I don't know. This happens every once in a while. Like, WoW's had these issues in the past.
Oh.
Like, I remember a while back, there was a thing where they added something to a loot table, but never assigned a percentage for it to drop, so it had either a 100% chance of dropping or a 0% chance of dropping. It depended how the instance loaded up or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the issue was, if it never dropped, you were fine. If it was 100%, it dropped every single fucking time.
Huh.
Yeah, it was a game correction issue. If they fixed it, well, I'm sure they'll get this sorted out.
How long did it take them to fix it, though?
I think it was like a week.
Oh, okay.
It was mostly finding what was wrong with it. Edge Transit, it's not clear how long it'll take, but like, also it's not as big an issue as people would lead you to believe. Like, it's maybe I've been lucky, but I've gotten plenty of stuff that wasn't Edge Transit. But
okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I bring it up is because I remember, like, there was a while ago, they're like, oh, yeah, no, this is a pretty big bug where one of the PvP modes has this, but, you know, it's the holidays, so we probably won't switch it till next year.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see they responded pretty quick on that.
Yeah. I think it's where they confirmed it. Like, I don't think they fixed it yet. It's more of the, like, yeah, this is wrong. Like, yeah, you guys are right. You're not crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. Speaking of crazy, though, Spider-Man sold over 3.3 million copies in 3 days.
That is pretty fucking impressive, because from what I understand, it also beats...
yep, the God of War record, which sold stupid well as well.
And I remember how much fucking hype there was for God of War, so that's actually pretty impressive.
Sony's having a really good year.
Yes, they fucking are. That's the second exclusive, right? Like, those two are both exclusives that sold really well for them.
Yep. So, this year has been, I think it's Uncharted, Horizon Zero Dawn. Not sure what it was this year, but Horizon Zero Dawn was recently enough, too, that it's like, yeah, that was a big deal, too.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, was that this year? that last year?
Horizon Zero Dawn, I feel it was last year.
That was last year. Yeah. It's been a good year for Sony. They've had 2 very well-selling first-party games. Yeah. Moving on to the opposite end of the spectrum, we got some Telltale news. It's not good Telltale news.
Yeah, this is kind of crappy.
So, Telltale Games has initiated a majority studio closure, meaning that they have gone from 250 people, down to about 25 essential personnel.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, and this is extra sad because they had a bunch of games allegedly coming down the pipe in the near future.
Well, yeah, they have been doing that weird narration story.
That's all they've ever done.
Yeah, like they have that market. That's what they do, which is kind of cool. But I mean, they had they had the Walking Dead stuff. I think they even had a Game of Thrones Telltale Games that had come out.
They did.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah. There's a werewolf one.
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah.
That was okay.
What else am I missing? Because I know there's a few more.
They had the Borderlands one. They had 3 seasons of Walking Dead, so that was a bunch of games.
Yeah.
Like, if you go back from... They had a Jurassic Park one and a Back to the Future one at one point, too.
A Back to the Future? Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
Like, way the fuck back when.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, it's... They had, like, a Minecraft one at one point. I have been critical of Telltale in the past, which means I'm not going to feel... I feel bad that a bunch of people lost their jobs as part of this. It's always sad when a studio goes under. At the same time, like... There's a bunch of jokes floating around right now where it's like you oversaturated your market and you're paying the price for it. Yeah, that's kind of what happened. Like, Telltale cranked out way too many fucking games. Some of them really good. Like, the 2 Batman games they put out were really solid entries in that genre. Mm-hmm. I found the Walking Dead ones to be hot garbage. And, like, if you took a step back and looked at it, their games were really the same and plagued by a weird number of technical issues for how straightforward those games were.
I'm surprised that they, you didn't like the Walking Dead ones. That's a little...
I don't like zombie games.
Oh, that's right. Well, you don't... Yeah, well, that makes sense then, I guess. But, I mean, did you ever do the Borderlands one or any one of those?
Yeah, the Borderlands one is great. Both of the Batman ones are just fucking fantastic. The Wolf Among Us is pretty good, too. I got the impression they had a Guardians of the Galaxy one, or they were doing a Guardians of the Galaxy one that went over pretty well. Did that one ever come out, actually?
I don't think that one did. Let's see.
Yeah, it came out. No, that came out a couple years ago.
Wow, that didn't do that well then, because I didn't hear anything about it.
That's the issue. There were so many of these games, and some of them were really good, and some of them were really bad. Like, the Game of Thrones one was weird because it had a bunch of the voice acting from the show, but because it also couldn't affect the show in any way, it was the side story, and like it had this weird technical issue where they had like a filter over the graphics that didn't work. And I think they're still up. We did a first episode. We did a bunch of episodes of the first episode of that game. Like, go back and watch that. Like that you get to hear me talking about how they have this kind of like style filter that, depending where the camera is, kind of glitches out or not.
Huh.
Like, not to beat a dead horse, but like, Telltale Games were notorious for a truly bizarre number of graphical issues for how straightforward those games are. And like, the rumor always was it was caused by just how fast they were iterating on every title. Like, they put out a lot of games in a very short time, and like, I guess I'm not like, it's weird. Like, it sucks this is happening, and it's sad a bunch of people are losing their jobs. I'm not necessarily surprised because I don't think anything since the last Batman game has done all that well, and the last Batman game was also a bunch of people like me saying, okay, you guys need to change it the fuck up for the next one.
Mm-hmm.
And they were kind of doing that for the new Walking Dead. Like, it had some stuff going on. Like, you could walk around and stuff, which I guess was neat, but I don't know. Pouring out for Telltale Games, makers of a variety of narrative-driven content.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. If you want to read more on that topic, there's a lot out there. A bunch of people giving opinions and more write-ups of exactly what was going on. But yeah, financials are financials, unfortunately.
Yep, it is a business number one. So.
Yeah. We got some news explicitly for Jeff kind of thing. So I feel like we've covered this before, and I know we've talked about this in some detail. The PS Vita is officially going to end in 2019.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Vita's still around, at least until then.
I guess. Yeah, like they're not going to ship anything more. They're not going to... It's... As someone who owns the Vita and thought the Vita was cool, but also like understands the Switch does what the Vita was trying to do much better, I'm a little sad at this, but at the same time, like, I feel like we've talked about this before. This is a slow death.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is.
Yeah. Speaking of more bad news, Capcom has shut down a studio in... Capcom has shut down Capcom Vancouver. The makers of Dead Rising.
Huh. They're not just shifting it to another studio, or is that just...
Dead Rising's been weird for a while. I read some stuff and heard some people talk about how the idea of... So Microsoft has kind of funded the last 2 iterations of that game. I could imagine if you were Microsoft, you might say, nah, we don't want this anymore, and if no one's funding that, I don't think that game gets made, and that's what that game does. That's what the studio does. I get the impression that, like, they were kind of midway through a bunch of stuff.
That's...
Or at least we're working on some stuff.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard good stuff about the recent, like, Dead Rising
I've never been a fan of any of the Dead Rising games, but, like, the last couple have been really bad.
Well,
not bad, but, like, just iterative.
Well, it's a zombie game, so you're already out.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
is a shame. I mean, Capcom hasn't had the best year for a little while now, unfortunately. Like, it's just...
They got that Monster Hunter money.
They did get Monster Hunter, but they've also had to...
They got a lot of Monster Hunter money, dude.
Yeah, but...
Capcom's doing fine.
Well, they did have, like, the Marvel fiasco, though. So they got that going against
Monster Hunter has always done well for them, and the most recent one is the best-selling one ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that put up God of War numbers, and that also broke 3 million sales pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, I guess that one did well for them. I know they're kind of riding on... What's it, what the hell is it called? Devil May Cry. They got that new one coming out.
Yeah.
So.
It looks good. There was a trailer from TGS of that stuff. It showed Dante being Dante.
Did you see the one with, since we're on talking about Capcom really quick, did you see the one that's like an extra add-on for, what's the name? Nero? They showed off an arm. Nero.
Oh, the Mega Buster, yeah, for Nero, yeah.
I thought that was pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that's typical Devil May Cry bullshit, though, too. It's like, of course!
Yeah. I figured that was just kind of quirky and fun.
Yeah, it is.
Now, if only they can release another Mega Man that's actually pretty solid.
Keep dreaming.
Yeah. I know.
I got some World of Warcraft news for you, Alex, if you want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, let me talk about this train wreck. I mean, no, this...
Dwarves and Blood Elves are getting heritage armor.
Yeah.
And does this fix things?
Fix a goddamn thing. But, so...
Are heritage armors actually cool in hindsight, or are they just kind of dumb?
They are actually pretty fucking cool. The Nightborn and the High Mountain Tauren are currently... yeah, Nightborn, High Mountain Tauren, the Void Elves, and there's one more I missed. The Lightforged Draenei all have heritage armor right now currently in the game. And they're pretty cool. It's a nice little aesthetic for the class, or for the race of their character. So they are, I guess they're starting to introduce more of them.
We have covered heritage armors before.
Yeah. So, looks like the next wave of people who are going to get them are the dwarves. And
Blood Elves.
And Blood Elves, yeah. So, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I guess it's kind of nice, but I wish they'd address other issues that are actually current. But again, art team crushes it. Dev team for actual development of the game is not crushing it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It does look pretty fucking sick, though. I like the dwarf armor. So, looks nice.
It looks like an old raid armor from like year one. It looks like that, like the Wyvern host or whatever it was, the Dragon Hunter one.
Oh, no, I mean, it looks pretty fucking different, I think, compared to that. I mean, it's similar, but it's very dwarven.
It's got a similar style going on.
Yeah. And the Blood Elf one is actually pretty cool because you get, like, Spellbreaker now and all that cool shit, so.
Why is that not a class?
I don't know. Eventually will, probably. I don't know. We'll see. We still have to add Shadow Hunter and all that, so. Maybe next expansion, when the next team that takes over fucking kills it.
Yeah. The Sony's changing up how PlayStation Now works. It's now a downloadable thing where you subscribe, you download the game, and you play as opposed to streaming it.
Oh, okay. That's kind of good.
This is more in line with kind of how the games through Xbox system works, so this is a good thing. I have no confirmation of this, but this may mean that you can download Bloodborne to your PC and play it that way now, because you can play Bloodborne on your PC through PlayStation Now.
Is Bloodborne only on PS4 right now?
PS4, yep.
Oh. Oh, that's pretty cool then. Yeah. So is it available on PC, the PlayStation Now? What else is it available to download on it? Or is it just only for PC?
It's only for PS4. Yeah. It's more you can play PlayStation Now via your PC.
Oh, okay, yeah. Got it.
We talked about this loophole a couple weeks ago.
Got it. Okay. Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a smart move on Sony's part.
Yeah, to make it a native app instead of having to depend on the streaming thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it means you can actually use the games and you're not connected to the internet either.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very good move. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how these types of services are going to evolve over in the next couple of years, because part of me is like, they're the future, and part of me goes, they're the devil.
Well, I mean, streaming services are starting to take off in general just because everyone wants a little bit of that original. I mean, I'm going to use Netflix as an example, but everybody wants a little bit of that Netflix money now. You've got everyone coming out with fucking streaming services.
Even Netflix wants some of that Netflix money now.
Oh, yeah, they lost a good chunk of the money that they had before for that. But, I mean, they're still doing well, but...
Hence my joke.
Yep.
We got a little bit of sad news. Steve Viction, who this person is by name, so we'll start that off. Nobu Uematsu, I'm probably butchering that, I apologize for that. Exceedingly accomplished composer in the video game industry, is kind of stepping away from Final Fantasy for a little while due to illness.
Yeah.
He's taking the rest of the year off. For that Final Fantasy game, this guy's done everything from Final Fantasy to Super Smash Bros. Brawl to Lost Odyssey and a bunch of other games out there. Dude has been prolific, but he's also done the majority of the Final Fantasy games out there, too.
Yes, he actually is the composer of all the music for Final Fantasy VII, most of, I guess, the other ones as well. The Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross series.
Dude does good work.
He does phenomenal fucking work. I knew his name, a long time ago, just because the dude's music is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame that, I mean, I'm
people age, people get sick. It's we wish him the best and a speedy recovery so we can get back to what he does. And if he doesn't, thank you so much for what you did, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even think about Final Fantasy VII with some of the beautiful music and all that.
Dude scored the soundtrack to your childhood.
Pretty much, yeah. So, you know what he's like? He's like one of those people you find out voiced all your childhood characters in cartoon shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy composed the music for all your childhood games.
Yeah. That fight music you love that you have as your goddamn ringtone on your phone, this dude.
Yep. So, wishing him a nice, speedy recovery and everything's okay. And
yeah. Take the time you need, man. You've definitely earned it. I get the impression Japanese work culture is hectic, and props to you for doing what you need to do.
Yeah. No, that dude is he's definitely earned it. I think there are a lot of people that maybe, but no, that man has definitely earned his fucking.
I generally believe in if you have a life-threatening illness, take the time off if you can, and even if you can't, find a way to, because illnesses are serious.
Yep.
It's weird to say that out loud.
Yeah.
Ready to talk about Red Dead Redemption for a little bit?
Sure. Let's dab a little bit in this new Rockstar Phenomena game that's coming out.
So we got some, as many news outlets out there have talked about, we got a bunch, and I mean a bunch of kind of totally useless information about the new Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
I say kind of useless because a lot of these things were a 2-hour demo a bunch of people played that when they talk about it, they're like, yup, it's Red Dead Redemption. I'm like, that's great. Fucking useless, but okay.
Yeah, no, confirm Red Dead.
No video exists from this, which I think sucks, but because I'd be more interested in seeing that. Some of the big takeaways that have been taken out of this, though, are that there's a first-person mode in Red Dead.
Yeah, which I thought was kind of interesting that they added a first-person mode.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's cool, I guess.
Indeed. Kind of in the kind of slightly no-duh category of life, the The online mode for Red Dead Redemption is going to launch in November after the game has come out and be kind of like a beta. Those who played Grand Theft Auto 5's online at launch will remember that's kind of how that worked as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rockstar has been very upfront about how this is a exceedingly complicated thing, and they've also been very upfront about the fact they understand that Red Dead Redemption 2 might compete with their other cash cow, Grand Theft Auto Online, and plan to stagger releases of content between the two. If that's not the most kind of weirdly scummy corporate thing I've heard in a long time, I don't know what is.
No, it absolutely fucking makes sense. It's like the Marvel movies; they stagger them out, even though you have different, like even with like some of the the ones that owned by like Fox and Sony, like they'll stagger them out as well, maximize them profits.
I love how they use so much of like, fuck it, we don't care, we're gonna steamroll that shit. Yeah. Rockstar has been very, what's the right word, secretive about what the hell Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be, online-wise anyway. I get they've said it's kind of going to be a hybrid of what Grand Theft Auto Online ultimately was, and what's it called, free-range mode from Red Dead Redemption 1?
I don't remember.
I remember touching it and being like, this isn't amazing, but also it's not terrible, but whatevs. I'm personally amazed they're not merging the two in some way. Like, part of me almost thinks the smart move would be to make, like, the Red Dead Redemption Online, like, a Westworld in Grand Theft Auto Online.
That would be kind of interesting.
It'd be the smart move, I think.
Yeah.
Keep the money in one giant pot.
Well, they're definitely going to be catching in, though. I know I definitely was looking forward to checking out the online, because I'm curious to see what that's going to look like, but...
Yeah, I'm just excited for that game at this point. I liked Red Dead Redemption 1 a lot. They've said some weird stuff about this, like there's an interact button, so you can, like, be a dick or be cool to people, like, your beard grows in real time, like, there's a surprising amount of character customization in this game. It's got some, like, real Witcher feeling to it. Which is weird because it's a Rockstar game.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I have the weirdest nagging question in my brain, which is in the original Red Dead Redemption, you couldn't sleep with prostitutes. Can you sleep with prostitutes in this one? I don't know why I care about this, but it was such a big deal in the first one that I'm like, what is it in the second one?
Charlie asked the real questions here.
Yes. If I'd access to that demo, that's what I'd have figured out. Prostitutes, yes or no? Ladies of the night. So, we're going to transition now from our news to our main topic this week, and we've talked about it before in the past. We're going to kind of talk about general streaming, if you will, because it's been a bit of a weird week for kind of the streaming topic of gaming. Not video game live streaming. We talk, yes, live, more the kind of Twitch, YouTube end of it. I guess the Mixler and other stuff, too, if you want to get real granular. And how can we forget Vape TV, the largest video game platform out there that we stream to occasionally. But, so it's been kind of a weird week where you have YouTube shutting down YouTube gaming, but saying they're going to take some of the functionality they've done there and move it onto traditional YouTube, and Twitch getting blocked in China.
So, just a really quick touch on the YouTube story here. Yeah. My understanding is they're not actually getting rid of YouTube gaming itself, like the portal. I know they're getting rid of the app.
Yeah, the app's going away, and they're kind of de-emphasizing YouTube gaming. It's being downgraded to more of a kind of less forward-facing thing. You can get to YouTube gaming, technically. The app is just going away, which was the big sell of YouTube gaming, because why would you go to a subsection of YouTube if you're on a computer?
Yeah. So that's what I figured when I was hearing that. I mean, they just want to kind of consolidate it and keep it under the same name. It's still going to be YouTube. Yeah. They're still doing a big push in terms of gaming on YouTube, like gaming content, but...
Yeah, you can go to youtube.com/gaming. It's a more game-centric version of YouTube, but I also suspect you'll get a gaming tab at the top of YouTube by the end of like this podcast, so...
But yeah.
Yeah.
The Twitch thing in China...
Allegedly, so the official kind of stance been taken is that it is in response to the dangers of China kind of readdressing what it views as the dangers of online gaming. So we've actually talked about this some in the past. This affected Monster Hunter World's release in China. Like, this is not a new topic necessarily, but I think it's the first one. Like, to be honest, I didn't know you could get Twitch in China. I assumed it was kind of like YouTube, where you got your own version of things, or didn't get it at all.
Yeah. Huh. Well, I mean, it makes sense, because I don't think they like, does Twitch even been working with them trying to filter stuff out so you don't see it?
I don't know. Yeah. Like I said, I assumed Twitch just didn't work in China, so hearing it did work and now doesn't was kind of a holy shit moment.
Yeah. Well, I figured it worked in some sense, because you gotta watch League of Legends somehow. Because that's big out there.
Don't they stream on their own channel now, too? Or like their own website?
League?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I could have sworn they still use Twitch and all that.
Don't know.
Huh. Yeah, that's a little surprising. But yeah, I mean, the fact that it took this long is, I think, pretty interesting. But yeah, no, should have seen it coming. That's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah, at the same time, I didn't know it was happening, so I couldn't see it coming.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we had known about it, it's one of those like, yeah, no, it'll eventually.
Oh, yeah, no, yes.
But
I don't keep track of what type of media outlets are available in China the way maybe I should. And I guess kind of a springboard off of this, like, it is a bad time on YouTube for YouTube creators. And I think Penny Arcade kind of jokingly but very astutely put, YouTubers are highly replaceable. Like, to a certain extent, it doesn't matter if someone succeeds for a long time, because two people will take their place, and YouTube's getting those eyes and that money somewhere.
Yeah. Well, YouTube hasn't been helping a lot in terms of trying to keep some of their creators around as well. Unless you're like a Logan Paul, which is fucking stupid, because that guy's content is just... Anyway, that's an opinion thing more than anything else, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, they'll keep those kind of people around, but you'll have, other channels that will get shut down or have weird issues. We've talked about YouTube.
Or just become less successful. Yeah. Like, it's...
Go ahead, you were saying.
Yeah, mostly it's a slow news week we decided to talk about, and this is kind of the biggest thing that happened this week. So, this is going to sound weird. Like, what do you think is next for this version of games media? Like, I think you're seeing a rise of traditional games media, some as the era of the influencer is starting to kind of wear its welcome on some of us, and like as we get older, I think it's one of those weird ones where Fortnite did a number on a variety of streamers out there because it wasn't about lots of games. It's about one game, and you've now got the people that have to chase those views kind of locked into one thing, and other people allowed to have a little more kind of lateral mobility, where it's like, hey, we're a little more legitimate of a press outlet that we have to cover other stuff. So I think we've actually reached a good point where you finally have a separation, a very distinct separation, kind of, and not by half the people's choice, between influencer, like the YouTubers that talk about games, and actual games media, because the influencers are stuck chasing Fortnite right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the funny thing. Like on YouTube, for example.
Yeah.
Fortnite is not the biggest game on YouTube.
What is the biggest game on YouTube? Is it still Minecraft?
Yes, by a huge margin, actually. And it's still, I was reading some stuff when they were talking about the YouTube change up for YouTube gaming, but like, to this day, Minecraft is still the biggest game on YouTube.
That actually doesn't surprise me at all. Being able to, like, the stuff Minecraft people watch definitely seems to be more of a at your leisure as opposed to watch it live kind of thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was actually kind of surprising too. I'm like, oh, well, Fortnite should have taken this by now. But no, it is in fact a lot of Minecraft that is still huge on YouTube.
No, but I think it translates to the people trying to break into that stuff are stuck focusing very heavily on kind of Minecraft, not Minecraft, but what's it called? Fortnite at this point, because that's the unexplored hotness. Like, it's the Minecraft channels are established. You're not rivaling any of them anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's possible, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting considering like Facebook is really starting to kind of ramp up their stuff as well.
Are they? Like, I think they're ramping it up, but at the same time, I think like people like you and I are abandoning Facebook in droves.
Well, Facebook maybe the profile thing, but like Facebook Gaming, they're really pushing for it. Like the rules to try to get like, what is it called, affiliate status, or to get paid to do stuff on YouTube is actually surprisingly low. You just need to have 100 likes and stream a certain amount of hours a week. Like, that's all you need.
Sure.
Compared to some of the bigger ones. So they're definitely pushing it. I've seen a lot more like people start to post about stuff on Facebook Gaming. Like, I'll give you an example right here. Trey Chat is a well-known Warcraft or World of Warcraft YouTuber and stuff like that. She streams, like, as far as the streams go, almost exclusively on Facebook Gaming. The guy from Epic Mealtime I've also seen up on there. A couple other channels have been posting up on Facebook Gaming. Like, it's a thing if they start to do it. So I guess there's a demand for it, because even the Restream service is increasing integrations into Facebook to do streaming on there. I'm interested to see what that would cause in the equation of things.
Yeah.
Just because, like, here's the thing. Twitch is very established, but you have to know about Twitch to go there. Facebook, anybody can go on Facebook.
Yeah, but I also guess like the few times I've been on Facebook in the last month have been, I haven't seen anything video related. Like, I also went through and heavily trimmed down my Facebook after all that stuff happened with it. But
I'm sure that could also be the case. But I know you have a potential bigger market share going through Facebook, or at least an audience potential, just because it's everyone. But at the same time, not everyone on Facebook wants gaming content. It's
Sure.
an option. As opposed to Twitch, you're going there because that's the kind of content you're looking for. So even with like YouTube has way more audience potential than Twitch does.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's probably why part of the reason YouTube would be, YouTube would be pushing to kind of revamp and redo their YouTube gaming stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they've got some ways to go to really compare, I think, with Twitch.
Yeah.
And
I also think that the more you it's weird. Like, I think the rise of the Facebook stuff you're talking about is bad for the influencers, because you're just tying yourself to another platform like they do with YouTube or like they've done with Twitch, where if something goes bad with that platform, you're kind of shit out of luck again.
I think you increase your options, especially if you do something like Restream.
Yeah.
I know there are certain rules like Twitch where it's like you can't stream to anything else if you're an affiliate or a partner for the first 24 hours, but it's like,
yeah,
you can always just hit up other channels or anything if need be, kind of.
Yeah.
That's maybe a little more different because that's dependent on, the platform itself, but you have options. So even if you have an established group like on YouTube or on Twitch, I've seen people make the change from like Twitch and just like, oh, I'm now going on Mixer. And I've seen like there are people who follow Mixer, which is Microsoft's dabble into the streaming service. So, and the thing is with that, people push, like Microsoft definitely pushes Mixer on all Xbox users. So
yeah,
you've got that market share going for you as well. Because not everybody who owns an Xbox necessarily will ever watch Twitch or anything like that. But through this kind of thing, with having it part of the actual OS and everything else, increases that kind of viewership. So there's a lot of potential platforms right now. I even heard I even heard Apple was working on some sort of gaming platform a while ago, but that's been quiet.
Why not?
That's been quiet for a while now. But yeah, no, there's a lot of, it's this weird thing that like for a long time Twitch has really had that market for live streaming, while YouTube kind of just had the uploaded video content for gaming, and now it's just kind of started to change up a little bit, I think. Although the big focus is still streaming for some reason. I don't like Twitch is starting to add a little bit of the VOD based stuff. YouTube is kind of expanding on their Twitch part, or their streaming part rather. Mixer was kind of interesting because their big pull, at least from what I remember, was almost no latency between streams and interactive streams. So you could actually like interact with the game itself kind of thing from the stream, or make audio sounds. Like there are different things you could do, which I know Twitch started taking on, but and of course Facebook wanted to be Facebook, and get in there as well. So there's a number of things right now. I think as far as platforms go, where it's going to go from this point, I'm not sure. Just because there's too much going on right now, and I don't see anything that would really shatter where we are right now with the current market share, unless there's some sort of drastic change for creators on YouTube. I don't see it happening on YouTube.
I think it's more like the creator stuff is just becoming less and less profitable as time goes on. So I think you're going to have a lot less of that pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. But like I said, I'm just curious to see where all this is really going to end up going.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's... The Twitch thing is weird because that's a giant market that I didn't know they had, but I'm willing to suspect Twitch is pretty upset they lost all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are stories of people who are pretty upset with the platform overall and stuff like that, which is interesting because you hear it from all the platforms. Like, you have people who are like, oh, they've done this is stupid, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's across the board. Like, I've heard a lot of stories about some of the stupid bullshit favoritism that would happen from the Twitch admins for the, what do you call it? A lot of the cam girls who came over to Twitch for a while. I remember hearing stories about that where they were pretty mad about them. They're like, well, they bring in views and they bring in money, so it's kind of one of the things we can look to the side. And YouTube has the same thing where they have like the Paul brothers who do some really dumb shit, but it's like, we'll give you a warning this time. Not necessarily a strike, but we'll give you a warning. And it's like, come on, guys. I get it, they make you money, but if you're going to enforce the rules, make it the same across the board. And there are clear stories, or clear examples where there were exceptions to rules, and some people didn't necessarily get the same scrutiny as others. I think who it was a while ago, YouTube. Was it with YouTube that pointed that out? I believe it was Philip DeFranco or the H3 podcast people, or H3 who there was a topic that somebody had made a video about, and their stuff got demonetized and kind of pulled away from being like in the up and coming videos, even though it had more views. But Jimmy Kimmel's, which talked about the same topic, was front and center and didn't get demonetized.
Yeah.
So it's like when you have people complaining with stuff like that, that's what I mean. Like, there's just so many weird variables right now for me to.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting time in that regard, and I'm curious to see where it goes, because I think we talked about this when the whole kind of YouTube demonetization stuff started happening, where a lot of people have had it too good for too long, and not they don't deserve it to a certain extent, but like it wasn't a sustainable business model, and it was built on not lies, but a very faulty set of kind of ideas where it's like, this is going to go weird eventually, right? And we're now there, and it's like, okay, it's part of me generally wonders, what do you do if you were kind of a middling YouTuber that made enough money to like afford to live but didn't like hit the big time? Like, if you're not making enough money anymore to survive, what do you go do? Like, what is that job application process like? Like, what are you like? You're used to a certain level of success. Like, you maybe have enough social clout that like, are you trying to go get a job at like Polygon or IGN or something like that? Or like, what is next for you at that point?
I mean, I think the influencer title, I guess, would be something that a lot of people would push out, but a lot of the bigger business people like have multiple fallbacks. Like, case in point, I'll use Philip DeFranco as a big example. A good chunk of his stuff gets demonetized now, but he's got so many different things going on that he's planned for this sort of thing.
Oh, I'm talking more like you don't have enough fans, the right fans, to make Patreon work. Like, you can't make money as like a YouTube gamer anymore. I'm not saying like what do you do at that point?
Well, at that point, you find another platform real quick that'll work out for you. Otherwise, you get a normal job.
Yeah, like I think we're approaching that point where a bunch of normal ass jobs are going to drop in some people's laps, and I'm kind of curious what that stage of this is going to look like.
Yeah, well, you're definitely going to have a lot more thinning of the herd, so to speak, with that too, because you have very few people who transition well from like one of those things into, like, I guess we would call normal jobs, even though it's, I mean, YouTuber and all that stuff, that's a legit job. Like, if you can pull that off and you have the following, and the platform, and the content, then hey, that's a job.
Yeah.
People assume it's pretty easy, but there's a lot of work that goes into the videos and all that stuff. I mean, hell, we run a channel here, and Charlie does the editing more than anybody else, so he knows firsthand.
But I also know there's not a chance in hell I could get a job as like a video editor based on those skills.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, at that point it becomes how marketable can you be as a personality and
yeah.
That's where it comes down to, because otherwise, I mean, what else do you have?
Yeah, that's true.
So
very true.
Yeah, you become. It's basically that social media thing. How good is your influence?
Yeah.
Are you good at that? Are you not? Well, then, welcome to Standard 9 to 5.
I find this transitional period fascinating. I'm also looking forward to like a bunch of jaded 40-year-olds that are like, man, I used to be a YouTube gamer. That was the shit.
I could see that there's a few with that. I think.
Oh, I'm hoping it happens. I want to see that dark timeline.
I mean, I think maybe there might be a few that will fade into obscurity and just kind of do their thing, which is, I mean, as long as they're all right, cool, kudos to them. But,
yeah.
I mean, you're definitely going to see, like, unless you have a good way to bounce back being, like, an influencer or something,
yeah, like,
I don't see it happening.
It seems like stuff like Patreon has become increasingly more important lately. Like, if you can't make that work, the probability of being a YouTuber full-time is significantly reduced.
Yeah. Or if you're hot...
I know Twitch is a little bit better, but they already... Yeah.
If you're hot, make a lewd Patreon. Cash in on that money.
Fans only.
Yeah. There you go. There was actually there was a girl I used to follow on... She streamed WoW, actually. And she's gone into this big platform push of, like, she'll stream WoW, but she also does a lot of, like, lewd-esque photography. And I'm like, well, I kind of like the WoW stuff, but okay. I'd never donate to her
I'll
Patreon.
look at it, but I'm mostly here for the WoW.
Well, let's think though. I'll never contribute to her Patreon for that. Like that's not that's not what I signed up for to follow. But hey, I mean, she's marketing herself in different ways. More kudos to her. She's using what she.
Did anyone notice her hand position on that keyboard is terrible?
She's actually pretty fucking legit as a WoW player, though.
You're that guy now.
What? No, not like that. But like that's the thing though. Like I here's the thing. If I want to go find myself some, like, Instagram, like, chicks, you can find them. They're everywhere. Just search certain hashtags. They will be there.
Purely a joke, man. I meant nothing more beyond that.
But yeah, I would just mean, like, she's, in a way, it's a smart business move. She's marketing herself in multiple platforms. She's a legit fucking WoW player, but she's also good looking, so she's using that to her advantage. Which you should do. If you've got a marketable skill, fucking use it. Like, people, like... I'd never understood the idea of people shitting on, like, people who switch to doing modeling on the side of them doing their normal stuff. Like, fuck that. If I was good looking, I would fucking pander the shit out of my good looks. Are you kidding me? Fuck that. Yeah. And, like, people who give people shit for that, you're fucking stupid. Like, your opinions don't pay their bills. So, yeah. Kudos to people who figure that shit out. Like, I'm telling you, once I get fucking yoked out, I'm going to start pouring myself out to G Fuel and all those places and fucking cash in, Charlie. No, you know what?
Gonna become a fitness model.
I'm gonna become a fucking fitness model. You don't need to do. We need to contact.
Gonna push that T.
You know what we need to do? We need to contact Soylent, and we need to come up with a crazy ass plan on a transition from, like, fat to fit, something weird like that, and just be like, we're powered by Soylent, and, like, play games and do shit, and have the logo on the streams and the commercials. Soylent, hit us up, bro. We can do this. You've got two dudes that are on the heavier side ready to fucking make a change here, and we're ready to just fucking eat all your superfood. Let's do this.
Food 2.0, man. It's not superfood. It's the next version of food.
There you go. Let's go, man. I'm ready. We gotta do something, Charlie. YouTube is changing, man. We gotta reach out. Yeah. All right? Soylent.
We've gone from making no money to making even less no money.
That's right. So we gotta do something. Soylent, hit us up, bro. We got this. Let's do this.
Yeah. No, I guess to summarize before we move on to emails this week, I think it's a fascinating time. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes from here, because it is such a kind of things are changing faster than they ever have in this space, and it's weird because, like, you had, like, if you rewound 2 years and asked me, like, hey, where do you think traditional news outlets for gaming are going to be in, like, 5 years? I'd be like, I don't know. Now I'm like, they'll be fucking fine. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
It's all the other stuff that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. New emails?
Yeah, I think it's time for some emails. I think we've rambled on long
Time for
enough.
emails? Yeah. If you want to contact us, how do you contact us, Alex?
Well, it's really simple, especially if you're Soylent. You can email us at wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Again,
What's that email again?
it's wickedawesomecast@gmail.com.
wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Spell as it sounds, down in the show notes, etc., etc. We got 2 this week.
Oh, go on.
Our first one comes in from Anthony, no location given. Dear Charlie and Alex of the Wicked Awesome Cast, based on Charlie's recent positive view of Destiny 2, I have also returned to the Life of a Guardian, and also, like Charlie, have found a clan to get more involved in. As a result of this, I have been using the game chat functionality significantly more. I've been hearing a whole slew of weird things in the background of people I play with. Most it's pretty mundane stuff, but there is one clan member who I think lives above a strip club because it's increasingly common to hear with what I am 100% sure is dancer stage introductions every few minutes. So Wicked Awesome Cast, what is the worst thing you've ever heard over chat for a video game?
Oh, boy.
I
don't know if I want to go down this rabbit hole.
I'm not sure my worst is that bad, but back in Destiny 1 days, there was a kid I used to play with every once in a while who had that problem where he definitely thought like his Destiny friends were his real life friends, and it was very common during like mundane activities. Like you'd be playing and he'd jump in to play with you or something if you didn't set your fire team to private. And one of these times he jumps in and goes like, "Hey, I want to talk to you." And I'm like, "I don't really know you, but okay, I guess. Like, yeah, I'm a stranger on the internet. Let's talk, kid." It's like, "My parents are getting divorced." And I'm like, "I am not the person to talk to about this shit."
Oh, boy.
I'm like, "I don't know you. I cannot provide any, like," I'm like, "We are not friends, kid. You need to find someone that you, like, actually know to talk to about this." Like, that's probably not the worst thing I've heard, but it's one that stuck with me the longest.
Yeah. Huh. That is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting adventure that took, though. Like, hey, so my parents got divorced. Oh, sorry?
I felt bad, too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not equipped to talk to you about your parents getting divorced. I don't know you.
Yeah, where do you go from there with that conversation? Like, sorry? So, yeah. For me, does it have to be, like, background noise stuff, necessarily, or just weird interactions?
I don't think it does. I think just, like, mine was in a background one. Like, I've heard the babies being neglected in the background, like, people fighting with people in the background, and, like, heard gunshots once or twice, but, like, nothing, no strip club awesomeness. I'm gonna say if it happened on game chat, it's fair game.
Okay. If you ever look up Tickle Fight, let me see if I can find it. If you look up Tickle Fight Freya, you'll find a YouTube video, recording of a guy who was my old guild leader in World of Warcraft back in the days of Wrath of the Lich King, where he literally loses his fucking mind and just proceeds to yell at everybody. It's one of those really wonderful YouTube rage videos. Or not YouTube, but like raid leader rage videos, like the one with
Sure.
Was it the one with Onyxia? It's on par with that. But it's like a lot of swearing, a lot of fucked up things to say, but yes, this I was in that guild. In fact, my rogue.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, so that would be mine. It's that crazy shit.
I like that you can look yours up.
Yeah, you can. I have a receipt on mine.
Yeah.
So.
Were you present for that, or just part of that guild?
Oh no, I was absolutely present the night that happened.
Oh god,
that's what I'm saying. I was there. You can actually see my rogue in the video. It's an orc.
Nice.
It's an orc rogue with a pink tabard. If you go through it, you'll see the rogue, and that's my character. So.
Damn.
Yep. No, I was there. This isn't one of those like, oh no, this was pretty funny, huh? Like, nope, I was.
Give me the highlight reels of this. I know we've talked about this in the past, but never really kind of said what the hell happened.
Like
what set the dude off finally?
So we were clearing out. This was already when the Lich King raid was out. This was when Ice Crown was already not Ice Crown. Was it the Frozen Throne? Whatever that one last raid was. That's already out. So at this point, we're going back and going to clear Ulduar, which is the last tier, because we wanted to farm that mount that dropped from it, which was Mimiron's head. But you had to clear it with 0 keepers, so you had to do hard mode for all the keepers in order to do it. We were on a fight known as Freya, and Freya's fight in particular is really interesting because you spend most of the fight fighting ads and doing a bunch of different things like that. It's a lot of little mechanics. But people kept failing at mechanics and doing a bunch of dumb shit. And alas, it didn't really work out, and just fail after fail, especially when we're geared a tier above this. Having this happen was a little bit annoying. So, yeah, that's what set him off. Was just a fail. So, if you ever go back and listen to it, it's fucking hilarious. Like, to this day, I still think it's fucking hilarious. And, actually, a little funny tidbit about this. The guy who recorded that, Good, is a pretty big extra lifer. And I ended up running into him at E3 a couple years ago. So it was actually really, really funny. Because I guess he kind of like freaked out for a sec, thinking I was going to hit him because of the recording or something like that. But I was like, no. Like, it was funny because like, I'm like, oh, hey, dude, you're Good, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you played on Boulder Fest? Like, yeah. He's like, I was in Tickle Fight when you made that video about Prof Rage, and he was like, oh,
oh no.
Hi. Like, he immediately had that change, like, oh, this guy knows me from, YouTube and this and that. That's cool. Oh, he was in the guild I made that fucking video about.
X Gon Give It To You came on in the background, start cracking your knuckles.
Yeah. So he was just like, I'm like, dude, it's cool. I thought the video was fucking hilarious. He's like, oh, so I could tell he was a little bit nervous over that one.
Just kept walking up behind him at random, being like, I know what you did, and walking away.
Yeah. But I just thought it was kind of funny that of all the people I'd run into at E3, it would happen to be the guy who recorded and edited the video and put it on YouTube. Yeah. And it was, I think, to this day, one of his most popular YouTube videos that he's uploaded. Let me check, actually. I want to check to see how many views it has, because I think to this day it still gets some fucking views.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you look up Tickle Fight... Oh, is it gone? No way. Is it gone? I think it's gone. Wow. I just tried to look it up, but it's not there anymore.
Wonder what happened.
I don't know. Maybe he took it down because it's just like not making good money monetization-wise anymore. Which would make sense, but come on, Good. Oh well. But yeah, I'm sure there's a
coward.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Thanks for writing it, Anthony.
Yeah.
All right, next one, last one. This one comes in from Samantha. Dear Wicked Awesome Cast, Alex's recent exploits into the world of food smuggling, put the emphasis there because there's quotations on it, reminds me of a bartender gig I had a few years ago. The bar, despite offering no food being located right next to a convenience store that has a small kitchen. Sorry, I didn't restart. The bar, despite offering no food and being located right next to a convenience store that had a small kitchen that made things like pizzas, had a strong no outside food policy. Did this stop people from bringing in food? Hell no. Did it result in at least one drunk bar patron severely burning themselves trying to sneak a mini pizza stashed in their shirt inside? Yes, it did. With Alex's recent foray into the world of food crimes in mind, do you have any other good food smuggling stories? Food crime!
I don't know.
I bring stuff into movie theaters all the time. I don't know, like the India story is probably my best crazy food smuggling story. That one's okay. I know we talked about me when I was in upstate New York about like 2 years ago now. I brought like beer and ice cream into a movie theater and sat next to some kids that were like, "Yo, we're super cool. We brought these candy," and I'm like, amateurs.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a good one. Someone got injured as part of it. I'm trying to remember the details of it. I know I have several stories of people like doing those like dumb booze smuggling things, and like there's a thing out there called pocket shots that my girlfriend recently found out about that she was very excited to learn about because it's like a plastic sleeve of booze so it won't show up metal detectors. It's the perfect smuggling apparatus for concerts at that point. Actually, no, the best one I probably got is my girlfriend is a whiz at smuggling stuff, where she uses 5 energy drink bottles.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Smuggling story. Does it have to involve me directly, or could it be someone I was with?
I think any good ones are okay in this case, like, as long as you can tell the story.
Oh, well, my cousin was having a quinceañera, and we wanted...
I like where this is going.
Yeah, we wanted to have a quinceañera, but it wasn't until the after party where we were all going to have access to booze. So my other cousin, who was in the Marine Corps, got his camel pack and filled it with tequila and wore it under his suit for the quinceañera and had it on him during the church service. And then in the limo when we're driving from the church to the photo shoot area. So we were all doing little shots of tequila from the camel pack.
I've done that a couple of times. So the food store I was trying to remember that ended in someone getting injured was... I remember exactly the situation. I think it was just back in college where there was a bunch of free food for like visiting guests or something, and we were not supposed to touch it till we were told it was okay, and someone kept going by and like smuggling out like a plate of the food and bringing it to the office we were all hanging out in at the time. And they got injured where they thought something was dip, and it actually was hot soup. And they put it down their shirt, and they like tripped or something, and spilled just a ton of hot soup down the inside of their shirt.
Oh. That just
in hindsight, I'm not sure how they didn't know it wasn't hot soup, because I'm sure the outside was warm, but I don't pretend to remember all the details on this. I remember it was a day of like you'd be sitting like something like a plate of sandwiches would show up, like, where the fuck did these come from? I'm gonna eat these. Nah, I have been to bars though like that have like bizarre no outside food policies. Like, we have peanuts. All I want to do is bring pizza into this bar. No! At the same time, there's a bar I used to go to that, like, they were a Domino's pickup spot or something. Like, they were a known quantity in an app for food delivery. Which I thought was pretty funny. Yeah, sorry, Sam. No, or Samantha. No good stories.
Yeah.
I haven't told before. Like, really, once you do the India trip, you can't top yourself ever again. You've done all there is to do in the world of food crime.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah. You got anything else?
No.
Should we close this sucker out?
I think we're good. If that's all of our emails, yeah.
Yeah, so one last time, we can be contacted at wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Again, that's wickedawesomecast@gmail.com. Spell as it sounds down in the show notes. But, yeah. You streaming at all?
Yeah, I'm going to start back up finally. It's, like I said, it's been a while since I've wanted to actually go on there, but the thing is, it kind of sucks right now, only because, like, I'm not in Raid, so I'm just going to be streaming.
Well, yeah, you're an attunement shaman.
Yeah. So I'm kind of in a weird place right now. With what I'll stream, it'll probably just be WoW leveling and World Quest stuff and other things here and there, so...
I feel there's a dark lesson to be learned from, like, trying to play into some meta or something as part of this. Like, we need to do, like, a retrospective on, like, the lessons you learned from this ordeal.
Oh, I don't regret it. I'll be upfront about it. I absolutely do not regret it. Like, having rolled an enhancement shaman, I did it. I was fully aware, hey, this is a new class, but... Yeah. No, I'm totally aware this is the thing. It's a good learning experience, I will say, but yeah. It is what it is. And it's WoW. It's a living game. It changes. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's the case. Cue the metal.